Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's ceremony. It will be treated as an outdoor ceremony. Therefore, covers are required for military members in uniform. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to stand and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during the playing of our national anthem, military members should stand at attention during the national anthem. Our guests in civilian attire are invited to place their right hand over their heart. At this time, we request all electronic devices be silenced for the duration of the ceremony as we will begin momentarily. Thank you. Good afternoon. Today, the men and women of the United States Air Force observe a change of command in which the reins of responsibility for the 3rd OG will pass from Colonel Jeffrey Rivers to Colonel Andrew Stolee. The presiding official for today's ceremony is Colonel Charles Shuck, 3rd Wing Commander, accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Jenny Shuck. A distinct feature of military ceremonies is the formal presentation of command to the reviewing officer. Today's information represents the men and women that will serve under Colonel Andrew Stolee. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, playing of the national anthem, and the invocation.
Sir, the group is formed. Thank you. Present the colors.
Present.
Arms.
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose lost stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, and the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare almost bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order.
Right shot there.
Arms.
Colors. Colors turn. Heart.
I invite you to join me in prayer.
Eddies.
Almighty God, I ask your blessing will be upon all who are gathered here today. And as is our custom, we give our time and attention to witness and to participate in this change of command ceremony. Lord, you place leaders in positions of authority and responsibility, and you charge us to pray for them. I thank you, Lord, for the great leadership, the mentorship, and continued dedication that Colonel Rivers has invested over the past few years. I pray, as this chapter in his life closes, that you will impress upon him the memories of a job well done. Remind him of the great impacts he has made, his legacy, and that the lessons he has learned will equip him for future success. May his next chapter be full of new opportunities, and let favor follow him and his family wherever they go. And let everything he touches be blessed. Bless the Rivers family. Bless Colonel Rivers' wife, Erica, and bless their children, Elise, Henry, and Caroline. Guide them and direct them always. Be with them and give them peace that only you can provide. And Lord, we welcome our new commander, Colonel Stolee, and his wife, Kendra, and children, Weston and Sloan. I pray these next few years will be the best years of their lives. I pray your hand of protection upon them and that their home will be a home of peace, a home of love and happiness. I ask that you grant Colonel Stolee divine wisdom, strength, and insight as he assumes the burdens of command today. That you will make the hard decisions easier to make, that you will make the crooked way straight, and that any obstacles to the mission will be removed, and that any stumbling block will become as stepping stones. Guide him as he leads, and direct the path for the 3rd Operations Group. And Lord, as we anticipate new lessons, new challenges, and new successes through Colonel Stolee, bless each airman serving under his command, that we will serve with integrity and excellence in all that we do. And as we sharpen the tip of the spear, allow us to always instill fear in the enemy's hearts. Protect the brave men and women of the 3rd Operations Group, the 3rd Wing, the U.S. Air Force. Bless all those that stand for freedom, and bless the United States of America. Amen.
Thank you, Honor Guard and Captain Brandon White. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to take a moment to recognize our distinguished guests in attendance today. Family and friends of Colonel Jeffrey Rivers, his wife, Mrs. Erica Rivers, his children, Elise, Henry, and Caroline, his parents, Colonel Retired John and Karen Rivers, his brother, Mr. Brian Rivers, and Erica's parents, Mr. Gary Hamblin and Mrs. Susan Hamblin. Family and friends of Colonel Andrew Stolee, his wife, Mrs. Kendra Stolee, his children, Weston and Sloan, his parents, Dr. Randall Stolee and Mrs. Becky Stolee. Commander of the 673rd Air Base Wing and Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Colonel Lisa Medic. 673rd Air Base Wing and Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Chief Master Sergeant Michael Sylvester. Deputy Commander, 3rd Wing, Colonel Matthew Tarnowski. Command Chief, 3rd Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Michael McNeil. Commander 176th Wing, Colonel Joshua Armstrong. Command Chief, 176th Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Timothy Stone. Lastly, a special welcome to all senior officers and civilians, commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, members of Team J-Bear, and friends for being here to share in this special occasion with Colonel Andrew Stolee and his family. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Colonel Charles Shuck.
Afternoon, everybody. Ocho, it warms my heart that you're the commander of troops. All that training paying off. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 3rd Operations Group Change of Command. Thanks for spending your time with us this afternoon. You could have chosen to spend your time on countless other things, but it means a great deal to all of us up here that you chose to spend it at the change of command of Colonel L.J. Rivers to Colonel Punk Stolee of the 3rd Operations Group. Thanks for everybody for coming. Lisa, Chief Sylvester, thanks for being here from the 673rd. Josh and Chief Stone from the 176th. We got Nacho and Kid from the 477th. Hulk snuck in there back there as well from Alcom, and for everybody else who came to celebrate today. Before I get too far into the speech, which will be brief, I'd like to thank all the members of the teams that put this event together. They don't just happen on their own. Thank you to the project officers, Chaplain White, the color guard, any prep team. The jets look great. Tom, you're there. Your group did it. I know you didn't have anything to do with it because you just took them in like 4 hours ago, but thanks anyway. Proffers and anyone else who had a hand in putting this together. Big round of applause. In my opinion, command is one of the most difficult but most rewarding positions in all of the armed services. Not everyone gets to do it, and those who do hold a special place in our ranks. Punk and LJ are no different, both already successful commanders. LJ now finishing his 2nd command and Punk agreeing to command again. These decisions are not taken lightly, but they cannot do it alone. Behind every great commander is a great family. Again, LJ and Punk, no different. We'll talk about LJ and his family first. Thanks to his wife Erica, also goes by Harley if you decide to harken back to her Strike Eagle days. His children Elise and Henry and Caroline. Words cannot fully describe the support that you gave your husband and dad while he commanded the 3rd Operations Group. Thank you for each of your sacrifices. A special welcome to LJ's brother Brian, his in-laws Gary and Susan, and his parents, Colonel Retired Lucky and Karen Rivers. Sir Lucky, it was great to meet you today. Saw your picture, your name in the 433rd so many times as I was there for about 4 years. It was great to finally meet you. And as the 3rd Wing Commander, I cannot stand here with you in the room and not mention that he's the former 90th Fighter Squadron Commander. Roll the dice. Back to LJ. This change of command is special to me personally, as I've known both Punk and LJ for a long time. LJ for about 15 years, Punk for just 1 year shorter than that. The first time I met LJ was at Tyndall Air Force Base in 2010. I was a young pre-weapons school captain, aspiring for greatness, and I was teaching at the F-22 schoolhouse. LJ had been chosen to transition from the mighty F-15C Eagle to the mighty F-22, and I was his flight commander while he was a student, and I was supposed to teach this black border patch how to fly a new airplane. And back then, the black border to me meant you were a god. I still think it means that, but you know, humble, approachable, credible, something like that. I'm just kidding. So that was daunting to me. It turns out, though, that LJ would be doing most of the teaching. Fast forward 3 months, now I'm a student at the weapons school at Nellis, and LJ is my assigned instructor, and I think probably to his dismay, also my paper advisor. We'll get to that here in a minute. For all those who've been there, if you didn't have to write a paper at weapons school, it would be super awesome. The paper, also known as the boat anchor. LJ helped mold me into the weapons officer I would eventually be, and we helped mold that paper. For those in the crowd, I just happened to write a weapons school paper that happened to be, I guess, okay, and it teaches us how to fly the Raptor in some of the ways it flies. Beyond me, it's still relevant today. I think I just got lucky. I get like 99% of the credit for that paper, but I think that's unfair. My name, Captain Charles Shuck, is on that paper, but there's a second name on that paper, and that's Captain Jeffrey Rivers, who I do truly believe deserves the majority of the credit and did most of the work. Fast forward 1 year post my graduation from weapons school, and I'm back at Nellis as a brand new weapons school instructor, and LJ is the chief instructor of the barnyard. In the 433rd Weapons Squadron, which in my opinion is the best weapons squadron, but this time it's a little different. In the 433rd, everything's run on seniority. As the new guy, you sit there, you shut up, you learn, and you stop the snack bar. I just finished the year as the chief instructor pilot at Tyndall Air Force Base, and my new job was to make sure that the Diet Cokes and the Bud Light were cold. Which, hey, it's all about humility. It's about humility, learning your place, becoming aware of how much you don't know, and gaining respect through performance. And LJ helped lead me through that journey. So LJ, thanks for everything you taught me, man. And thanks for putting up with me as we wrote that stupid paper. We published version 19 of that paper, so it was quite the daunting task. Your influence and impact on me and the greater F-22 community merely began with that paper and blossomed to new heights for years to come. Commanding the 83rd and shaping and how we carry and employ the weapons that we have, leading air dominance in OSD Cape, and now commanding the 3rd Operations Group. You leave a very impactful legacy, and I thank you personally for helping to mold me into the commander I am today. Congratulations on an amazing group command. It was a pleasure commanding with you the past year and leading with you, and an even bigger congratulations on your retirement. Our Air Force is better having had you in it. Thank you for your service, and thank you from a grateful nation. Best of luck as you transition to civilian life and move to Missouri. I have to admit, Missouri was not on my bingo card from where you would end up. Now we welcome Punk and his family to the 3rd Wing. To his wife Kendra and his children, Weston and Sloan, thank you for lending us your husband, your father for the next couple of years. We'll do our best to return him in one piece, and welcome back to Alaska, this not being your first time here. We're excited to welcome you back into the 3rd Wing and to be part of the command team once again. Punk, I look forward to commanding with you this next year before I say farewell to the wing. Also, welcome and thank you to Punk's parents, Dr. Rand and Becky Stolee. Thank you for coming, and thank you for the support that you give Punk up to now and while he's in command. Told a story about LJ, gotta tell a story about Punk. I met Punk about 18 months after I met LJ. So about 2011, Punk was an F-15C weapons officer in 422, and he's getting ready to come over to the Raptor. And he is chosen for the daunting task to transition to a new airplane and then immediately teach at its weapons school. I think that we all learned pretty quickly a few things about Punk. He was an amazing pilot, he was a great instructor pilot, and he has this sharp analytical mind. But he always wanted to do math. He still always wants to do math. She laughed. You saw it. Punk will prove you wrong using math in almost every argument. However, he fails to apply this same Rain Man-esque math skills to his watch. He is the most chronically late person I have ever met, even more than you, Tom. Always 5 minutes late to the push. We could never get him to push on time when we were TDY. But Punk is living proof that being a weapons school instructor and being a leader is not about the experience in any specific airframe. It's about how you teach. Teaching is a fundamental skill that spans all airframes and non-airframes alike, and Punk does it with effortless grace, and I expect nothing less as you take command of the 3rd Officers Group. It's an honor to serve with you then. I look forward to serving you, commanding with you now, and welcome back to Alaska. Lastly, but certainly not least, to the men and women of the 3rd Operations Group, thank you for what you do. You impress me every single day, grinding the Wings mission endlessly with the 3rd Maintenance Group, and mostly without complaint. I say mostly because you're never completely void of complaint, but I would never expect anything less. Thank you for your support of LJ and for following his lead. I challenge you to support and follow Punk as he steps in as your new commander. Our nation expects nothing less. Thank you.
Colonel Jeffrey Rivers, please join Colonel Charles Shuck, center stage.
Group 10 shut.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the medal presentation.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of Legion of Merit to Colonel Jeffrey J. Rivers. Colonel Jeffrey J. Rivers distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 3rd Operations Group, 3rd Wing, Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson, Alaska, from 11 July 2023 to 1 September 2025. During this period, Colonel Rivers' exceptional skill and dedication was essential to the success of the 3rd Operations Group and the 3rd Wing. His dual-headed as the 3rd Air Expeditionary Wing Deputy Commander, leading the bed-down distributed operations and redeployment during 3 flag-level exercises, culminating in Exercise Bamboo Eagle 24-1, the first ever joint and coalition live, virtual, constructive agile combat employment event. Colonel Rivers dramatically increased wing readiness by closing out 100% of F-22 and E-3 flying hours 2 years in a row, and twice leading the wing during Exercise Neptune Hawk. Furthermore, to assist in wing reconstructing and to overcome persistent personnel shortages, Colonel Rivers expertly identified unused billets, repurposing them to build the first ever operational wing Alpha 9 Analytics Division, supporting high-level in-garrison data collection and analysis, improving combat sustainability. Finally, he guided the reevaluation of the F-22 Ready Air Crew program, introducing quantitative metrics to bolster a previously quantitative-only reporting structure and successfully eliminated the outdated F-22 secondary air-to-ground mission. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Rivers culminate a long and distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Thank you. Colonel Jeffrey Rivers will now make his remarks.
Hooray.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Ocho, put the formation at ease, please.
Good shot.
That was a fast few years. I felt like I was just standing here not too long ago with Butcher and Jinx. To the 673rd and 176 Wing Leadership already introduced, and to the 3rd Wing counterparts in the 477 Fighter Group. Thank you for being here despite your busy schedules. Some of you twice in one day. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen. So thank you. It's not lost on me on how essential you and your team's contributions are to make the third ops group successful. It's definitely been a highlight of my time in the Air Force, working with you and the rest of your folks. To my front office crowd, Clint, Nocho, Hulk before you. Hulk, thanks for coming. Thanks for more or less running the group daily, and for Hulk especially, thanks for teaching me the ropes as I showed up here in Alaska for the first time. Chief Babcock, thanks for being the enlisted bedrock for the group, and good luck to you and Sherry on your final year here. For Rachel and the execs, you are all amazing, and I'd be a complete disaster every day without you, so thank you. And boss, thanks to you and Jenny for leading our wing here and dealing with my act again for the last 15 years or so. It's been definitely a pleasure and an honor, so thank you. For the rest of the folks that have changed over, I think I've met all of you. I think there's one I hadn't met, or I met you this morning. Good luck to you. This wing is completely changed over, I think, for 2 folks. And you're about to get on the road to do some pretty amazing work downrange for an exercise, so good luck to you all. And then finally to all the other commanders, chiefs, leaders, and warriors, thanks for being here today. Real quick to my family, I'll have more words for you tomorrow when I hang this career up for good. But to my mom and dad, and my brother Brian, and my wife's parents, Gary and Susan, thank you for traveling all the way up here to Alaska, the top of the world. I love all of you. To my wife Erica and 3 peeps, Lise, Henry, and Caroline. I think we've had some good times here in Alaska, but it's time to move on one last time. I love you and can't wait to see how we handle a non-Air Force life. I gotta figure out what to wear every day. That's gonna be weird. But more tomorrow. Second team, well done putting this together, wherever you ended up. And Freak, thanks for leading our ceremony. Thanks. Chaplain White, thank you for your inspirational words. I'm not sure where you ended up. And for always leading the group and your outstanding leadership at True North Mission for all of us in the wing. You are by far the finest spiritual leader and counselor of any rank I've ever encountered in my 24 years. So I'm grateful to have served with you and your wonderful family, so thank you. To the maintenance group, thank you for your presenting these beautiful chariots of justice back here behind me and to the left. To the maintenance professionals that get us off the ground every day to do our job, despite how complex and elderly some of these aircraft are. For Senior Airman Willard and A1C Andrews up here in the crowd, the OG flagship aircraft 113 looks awesome. So thanks for letting me train and fly one last time with my friend Kid out in the beautiful Alaska wilderness one last time. It was awesome. Okay, for those not to know, we have 3 of the 4 jets that the ops group executes presented here, and unfortunately the mighty E3G AWACS couldn't make it today. If you're here for the change command earlier, you saw both of them take off. The only 2 that we have, which is pretty amazing for a 1960s airplane. One of them is on the hook to support NORAD tasking, I think is maybe still airborne now. And the other tail headed out to the West Pacific this morning. So definitely doing the job. And of course, none of those airplanes or the humans that operate them can do their job without the efforts of the Operational Support Squadron. In aggregate, the group's 5 squadrons have supported the greatest number of regional combatant commanders that I've seen simultaneously active at such a high level at the same time in my 20 years of service. That means at least 1 aircraft type of the ops group has met those demands and purposely touched dirt in nearly every continent in the world repeatedly over the last 2 years. And more importantly, that means the group's airmen and their families have met those demands directly and indirectly for upwards up to 6 months, sometimes consecutively out of those years. So it's certainly not me that's responsible for directly meeting that demand and for the daily care and training of those airmen and families that endure it. It's the squadron commanders. It took having my time in the barrel as a squadron commander and now seeing it from this echelon how important the job of a squadron commander is, and to realize that it's by far the toughest job in the Air Force. So in no particular order, I want to thank the outstanding commanders and men of character I've had the privilege to support and learn from over the last 2 years. So to Hack, Ocho, Jethro, Popeye, Bush, Java, Jammer, Clint, Rum, and Redbeard. You're leading the most important unit of action over the horizon in no-fail scenarios with billions of dollars of equipment, cargo, and American lives. We're leading the sustainment of the most strategic airfield at the top of the world and constantly humbled by you. It's been an honor to be able to help you achieve those objectives when needed, and then hopefully stay the hell out of your way. To all the men and women of the 3rd Ops Group, working with you has been the highlight of my career. Plonk, you gained an outstanding team. Can't wait to hear what you all accomplish over the next 2 years. Good luck to you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Colonel Jeffrey Rivers will now receive his last salute from the men and women of the 3rd Operations Group.
Group, attention. Present. Arms. Order. Arms.
Colonel Charles Shuck and Colonel Andrew Stolee, please join Colonel Jeffrey Rivers center stage.
Group, attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Charles Shuck performs the change of command.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Under the provision of the Air Force Instruction 51-509 and Special Order Number G25031, Colonel Jeffrey Rivers relinquishes command of the 3rd Operations Group, and Colonel Andrew Stolee assumes command of the 3rd Operations Group, effective 9 July 2025. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the very first time, Commander of the 3rd Operations Group, Colonel Andrew Stolee.
Thanks, everybody. I'll be relatively brief, but first off, I'm just going to run through a lot of things for what's been happening here and things that I'm excited about. So first, thanks to all the leaders, teammates, mission partners, everybody else that we work with on a daily basis on the base. Thank you for coming out. Thanks for everything that you and your people that you lead accomplish every day. Thanks to all the behind-the-scenes folks that got this thing ready. Thanks to the people that are standing in formation and doing a great job of that. Thanks for being here. All the people that did the work, helping to get people in the gate not too long ago on last-minute notice. So getting all the jets out here, it's been amazing. So thank you for that. Colonel Shuck, sir, thank you for the opportunity to lead. I'm looking very much forward to being a part of this team again. LJ stole most of my thunder to the maintenance group and all the maintainers that got all this stuff going. I know it's not easy, especially when there's multiple taskings going on. There's lots of things that are flowing down every day right now to be able to set aside some time to make it look pretty for us up here. So thank you for doing that. It's not lost on me the amount of impact that can have. To LJ and Erica, thanks first off for being great friends and taking me along, being a mentor and a role model for me, making the transition from the F-15 to the F-22 at the weapons school, which was not the easiest to pass. And then from there on out, LJ's last relinquishment of command I was in attendance for at Tyndall when he gave up squadron command as well. So it's a pleasure to be there for all the things that you guys are doing, and I know it won't be done when we're done here. Thanks for all that you've done in the last 2 years, leading the 3rd Ops Group and in the Air Force overall. To Nevi, Eric, Raziel, Kelly, Anne-Marie, and Juniper, thank you guys for making the trip onto base and coming out. So friends of ours that are from in town, and Thanks for being here. I know it's a little bit out of the ordinary for you guys, but I do really appreciate you being here and supporting us as we're going through. To my family, thank you guys for making another move, getting all the way across an ocean, an entire continent to get up here. To my parents, thanks for making the long trip back up here again, and all the support and hard work you guys have done to make it easier for us to transition in here. I'm very excited about the next couple of years. I'm excited about watching Weston and Sloan get through middle school and start to enjoy Alaska again. So thanks for coming. Thanks for what you've done. To the 3rd Operations Group team. It is incredibly humbling, as LJ alluded to, all the things that are going on all the time. The multiple vital missions you're doing from a vital location on behalf of multiple commanders all the time. It's just awe-inspiring to watch as you guys meet the demands that are required. It's not easy. It's not always restful, and it's not necessarily always the most fun all the times, but it's awesome to see what you guys are doing. So thanks for letting me join the team again. Being back in Anchorage is awesome, and I'm really excited to see where you guys go and what you do in the future. And again, thanks to Senior Logan Williams and AMC Andrews for having the jet ready and making it great. So thanks for all you're doing. Thanks for being here, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the Alaska summer. Thank you.
Colonel Andrew Stolee will receive his first salute from the men and women of the 3rd Operations Group.
Group, attention. Present. Arms. Sir, the group's and your command. Order. Arms.
In time-honored Air Force tradition, the squadron commander's name is prominently displayed on the squadron flagship opposite the name of the aircraft's dedicated crew chief. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention behind the stage as Staff Sergeant Jacob Sibley and A1C Daniel Andrews, assisted dedicated crew chiefs for the Bulldog flagship F-22 Tail 113, unveil Colonel Stolee's name. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Air Force song and the departure of the official party.
Group, attention.